Most men will see a really attractive woman at some point in their day, whether you're at the grocery store, you're leaving the gym, you're out at the nighttime environments, you're walking down the street. At some point in your day, week, or month, you're gonna see a really attractive woman. And understand that most men, they are not going up to that woman. If you're watching this video, most likely the title resonated with you. And I can even speak for myself on this one. Like, there was a long period in my journey where I wouldn't even go up to a woman like that. I didn't feel entitled to. I felt high levels of anxiety. I didn't even feel like I deserved that woman. That's a whole nother story. And I'll talk about the different levels to it in this video so that way you can actually make that progression. But there was a point in my journey where I couldn't even go up to the woman. I went from that to finally approaching some women, to starting to have some success with women, to then having higher levels of success, but not getting the girls I really wanted and still kind of pussying out with that, then finally going after those women. And then really in the last year or two, I've been in Miami, and I actually feel like I'm at a point right now where I am not only looking to go up to those type of women, I actually genuinely, you can put me on a lie detector test, I genuinely feel entitled enough to be with those type of women, right? And so there was a long progression there. If you want to know more about my progression or the clients' transformations that I've had or my program details of how I can help you make that transformation, there is an in-depth training in the description. Watch that video in full. I talk about all of that stuff and a lot more in that. Link is in the description down below. But let's talk about this actual progression here. So if right now you're somebody who's not even going up to any women at all, you're not interacting with women, you're not going on dates, or you're just relying on online dating, you need to just start interacting with women. You're at level 1 with this thing, bro. Level 0 is you're not going on any dates, you're not talking to anyone. Level 1 is you're going on some dates, but it's mainly online dating or social circle, and you're not really going after women or approaching. You know, you're not going for the ones you're actually at least somewhat attracted to. You need to just start talking to women. Don't even worry about getting a date with them. Don't even worry about getting their numbers. You need to get desensitized to just starting to interact with these type of women. You do that by starting conversation. You need to say something to these women. That's where you start. When I was at the lower levels, I would look at the girl and I would instantly compare myself internally to see if I could even genuinely believe I could have a woman like that. And if the answer was no, I wouldn't even engage. I would avoid. I would avoid at all costs because I think deep down I felt like I was going to get rejected. So I don't want to go up and get rejected. And so I don't do anything at all, not realizing if I would have just started talking to those women more, even though I wouldn't have gotten them, even though if I would have gotten rejected, I could have at least had friendly conversation with these women, because the more you talk to these women, the more you'll realize they're just women. And most women, when you really get to know them, especially when they really start to like you, dude, they're fucking little girls. I swear to God, deep down, the most attractive women that are so intimidating, they're insecure, they're in their head, they don't feel that they're attractive, they feel like they got a little bit too much fat on their armpit here or on their back or on their waist, or there's something wrong with they focus on such little things that you don't even notice about them, and they don't even think they're that attractive. And so when a guy who's been with attractive women and he's dated them over and over again, or if you've ever been with a really attractive girl long enough and you've had sex with her enough times to the point where you were no longer wrapped up in her beauty and the fairy dust has worn off and you see things for what they really are, you start to realize, dude, this is how every woman is. This is how every woman is. But understand, most men, they live their whole life and they never go up to those really attractive women. Never. I'm not even talking about dating. I'm talking about you don't even go up to that girl ever. How fucking sad is that? You're gonna live your whole life knowing that you could have built this skill set up. You could have gone after the things you want. You could have actually made a change with this, because there's thousands of men making a transformation that could have been you, but you chose to not really go for it. And so you're gonna live the rest of your life going to the gym, going to the grocery store, seeing these really attractive women and never ever feeling like you were entitled of that. You never put in the work, you never built yourself up, you never went for it, and you never earned the internal entitlement to be with a woman like that. How could you live the rest of your life not feeling worthy enough of doing that. To me, that's why I could never quit this thing, because I just looked at it like a video game, and I felt like if I wasn't still playing the video game, or if I didn't beat the fucking video game, I couldn't just live the rest of my life settling with some ugly ass chick that was fucking, super low level, knowing that I'm a piece of shit and I gave up on this thing, or maybe I didn't even end up getting a girl. To me, that was just never an option. That was never an option. But this is the actual reality. The hottest women, if you see them at the bar, if you see them on the street, she's not getting approached that much. You think that these girls are getting spam approached all the time? The really attractive girls, they just get eye fucked. They're walking down the street, they get a bunch of looks. Most men are not going up to these women. Almost all of them. Almost all of them, 99.9%. Because I'm walking around Brickell and I see these women, and I very rarely see guys just going up and cold approaching women. It's not like it's happening left and right. And Miami and New York are like literally the fucking day game capitals of the world, okay? Most of these women are not getting approached in broad day, and a lot of them aren't going out to nightclubs, right? So what does that mean? You need to be the guy that can start going for it. And even if you don't get that girl right now, you need to start doing this so you can start getting desensitized to at least talking to these type of women. If you just avoid it, like that's what I did. I watched all these videos and I didn't do shit. And so I just avoided these situations. And so I never went up to these type of women. And then they were just like these magical creatures that I would see out at the clubs, and I would get nervous even just being in the vicinity of them, and I wouldn't talk to them, and then I would go home and think about them and hate myself for it and just not feel good enough to even go for it. It wasn't until I started talking to women, started dating out of my comfort zone, started pushing myself a little bit more, I taught myself that I could slowly build up this skill set. I could slowly get more desensitized to interacting with women. I could slowly get more comfortable going on dates. I could slowly start flirting and it feeling a little bit more congruent. And I just kept going with that over and over and over and over again. And when you do that for a long enough time, which is not easy to do by yourself, you need some sort of accountability. You need some sort of sense of community or other people encouraging you. You need structure. You need tracking. You need coaching to point out the blind spots. Like there was a lot of time and investment I put into this thing. But looking back, like what is the other option? Are you just gonna live the rest of your life seeing these women in the world and justifying that you're somebody that's not for you? What kind of fucking life is that, man? I don't even know. Like, I'm just thinking about that. Like, that was never an option for me. It felt really far away. It felt damn near impossible for a long time, but not going for it was just not an option, right? And so the whole moral of this video is that understand that these really attractive women, they're not really being approached. And you as the man, you need to take that step. You need to take that uncomfortable step. Even if you don't start dating that girl today, or this week, or this month, you need to start making progress and pushing yourself towards it. It will feel freeing inside. You will grow from that. There is a lot of growth that will happen from just taking those steps. And then you walk away from the conversation and go, you know what, fuck yeah, like I took that step, man, let's go. Talk to that girl that I was so afraid to talk to. It's a normal ass conversation. Maybe she even thinks I'm weird. Who gives a fuck? It's about me versus me at this point. Right? And I'm taking the steps I need to take. So as long as you keep doing that, man, you will build the muscle, you'll build the skill set, and you'll have the confidence over time to actually date these women. And when you start dating one of them, you'll realize over time that that girl ain't shit. I promise you. I look back at the girls that I was so intimidated by in my 20s and early 30s. These women, I'm not trying to say I hate women or downplay women. I'm just saying they're normal people. Like they are not magical creatures. They are normal fucking people. And the more you could just go up and talk to them and treat them as such, the more you'll realize that they actually respond to that. Because everybody else is the guy that's like, the hot girl comes around, he starts acting weird. You ever have been out with your friends and the waitress comes out, she's like really hot, like look around, your friends will be like, they start acting weird. They can't even act normal around attractive women. All right, so you gotta start going for this shit, man. That's what it comes down to. If you're not approaching at all, if you're not dating the type of women you want, if you're not really going for it and you need that push, you need that accountability, you need that structure, you need that coaching, or you're just somebody you're tired of not going for what you want in life. Like if this story resonated with you and you don't want to be that guy anymore and you're fucking fed up with this shit and you want to make a change, I'd love to help you with that. There's an in-depth training below this video. I go through my whole backstory, 10-year transformation. I show you the exact steps I went through. I talk about the 1,000+ clients I've helped. I show you some of the transformations the clients have made. And I also lay out the structure of my coaching program. I'll show you exactly what I would take you through to help you make that transformation yourself. So this video's over. Click that link, watch that in-depth training right now. And that's all for this one, guys. The next time you see that really attractive girl in your day-to-day, you got to make a commitment to say something to that woman now.